Hey, hello guys. It's Monday afternoon, local time, 2:16. Wherever you are in the world, whatever time zone you are, welcome, welcome. So gonna be a little bit different today. I want to talk about ownership, the ownership freak. Yeah, big title here. And I'll tell you something about a control freak, um, and what an ownership freak is in the first place. It's someone who with sort of an intense, often psychological driven need to manage, monitor, and dictate every detail of a project, business, or even interaction, often due to their perfectionism, their insecurity, or feel of failure. While this drive can lead to high success and exceptional quality, control in startups or leadership roles, especially if it frequently um, creates drama with growth or causes burnouts and even damages the relationship with other staff. And I've been in so many situations where there was a lot of people out there that were those ownership freak and they were in position of high power and they had this um aura about them, and if, like I said, it damages the relationship with you or me or they or them, right? And with the staff in general, or just with your prospect or with your team. And again, if this resonates with you, uh, hit the like and subscribe in this channel below, and I'll send you a PDF with some information. Have you ever dealt with a prospect who needs to control everything? Like, this is normal, right? So have you ever dealt with a prospect who needs to control everything? They question every detail. They double check every number. They want to approve every sentence. They interrupt you. They challenge you. They micromanage the conversation. That's not just a difficult prospect. That's what I call a ownership freak. And today I'm going to show you exactly why sales rookies lose these deals and how professionals actually close them. Right? Ownership freak is someone who's a perfectionist and has those perfectionist tendencies, who has trust issues, who has fear of failure, who's fear of losing leverage, extreme need for control. They don't like uncertainty. They don't like handing over the power. They don't like feeling sold. They need to feel in charge. And here's the mistake rookies make: they fight for control. That's how you lose. And I'm not going to write any notes just yet because I want you guys to listen with your ears. And, if you have that pen and paper, now's a good time to jot down these notes. Let's say, for example, a prospect ownership freak seller. This person is a sales. This is a sales rookie scenario in person with a real estate listing. Okay, you have your prospect, you have your ownership freak seller saying, "Hey, I want to approve. I want to approve every marketing decision. I want to see the listing description before it goes live. I want to choose the showing schedule. I don't want any prices changes. I don't want any price changes without my approval." The rookie's gonna respond, of course. Whatever makes you comfortable. What just happened? What? Sure, of course. Whatever makes you comfortable. Look at the response he gave back. Sales rookie. I want to approve every marketing decision. The seller, the ownership, the freak. I want to see the listing description before it goes live. I want to choose the showing schedule. I don't want any price changes without my approval. Are you sure you need a sales rookie to help you out? Prospects, are you sure you need a sales rookie to help you out? Of course, whatever makes you comfortable. Well, sales rookie, what just happened there? You just surrendered your authority. Like you're not a leader. You're a note taker. You're a tour guide. You're a customer service representative. You're an administrator. Now the prospect runs the deal. The rookie becomes the employee. Stress increases, right? And close probability drops. Definitely, right? That's a D grade. If I were to grade that, that would be a D in that scenario. Right? Then there's the sales professional risk. And again, if you're looking at a grade D, I'll show you what a grade A would look like, right? Because that's possible in any scenario or in that specific scenario that we spoke about, right? And think about what I just said there, because, you know, the prospect in person or warrior response, again, would say, I completely respect that. You built this asset, you care about it. Applies. But let me ask you something. You see where that professional? Let me ask you something. Are you looking to control the process or control the outcome? Change the binary. Now the prospect has to think, right? My job is to manage the process, right? As a professional, so that you can maximize the outcome. If we split control in the wrong areas, it'll slow momentum and weakens negotiation leverage. Bang, it's like saying, I don't have to explain or educate you when I'm able to do what I need to do to get into what I'm doing, right? So I don't need you to do that. Right? And now you're not fighting with them in that scenario. You get it? And you're repositioning control. So think about it that way, because if you look at the grade, like for example, an ownership freak seller, if we were looking at it in grading, and this is what an A grade would look like, right? We're talking about levels of experience. I don't care if you got 10, 15 years experience, but it's all in the way you act and it's all in the way you talk. The seller goes, I want to approve every marketing decision. We're going to go back to the first scenario. I want to approve every marketing decision. I just want to I'll just copy this quote for you because I think that's what matters. I think you guys want to see that. As this is what we're going to be working with today. I want to approve every marketing decision. I want to see the listing description before it goes live. I want to choose the showing schedule, and I do not want any price changes without my approval. The rookie, what would the sale rookie? And this is a scenario live, you're in person, right? And this is what the difference between what a D grade and an A grade would look like for me. And I'll explain that to you. And when I grade based on what I know. So the rookie would say, hey, of course, what makes you comfortable? Whatever makes you comfortable. That's a no, right? Whatever makes you comfortable. You're surrendering leadership, right? Now, here's what an A grade would look like. I respect that. You built this home, right? And you care about how it's represented. It's sentimental, it's emotional, industrial. Remember, I told you it's usually industrial or sentimental to someone. Absolutely. Pause, calm, grounded, right? Stay paused, stay on their frequency, calm, grounded. Look at them, right? Let me explain how, not just like you're in a movie, like you're in a movie set trying to sell the product or an open house. Like you treat everything as if it's an open house. Think about it, right? I respect that. You've built this asset and you care about how it's represented. Use that tone, right? Stay calm, stay grounded. Let me explain how I work so we're aligned. I manage strategy, positioning, marketing, marketing timing, negotiation leverage. You approve major financial decisions. You do the price adjustments, the final offers, and term. That structure protects your outcome and keeps momentum strong. Then, if we try to split control across every detail, that'll slow down response time and weaken negotiation power. Definitely, 100%, guys. And in this market, speed and positioning matter. Remember what I just said. In this market, speed and positioning matter. How fast can you sell a home? Right? Does the structure feel fair to you? Simple answer, right? This will deserve a simple answer, right? And he's valid. Like I said, I respect that. If we go back to, I respect that you've built this asset and you care about how it's represented. He validated without even submitting, not whatever you want. He respects it. So he acknowledges that the ownership's without surrounding authority, right? He's defining rules. His ownership freaks fear chaos, right? Because that's what it is. It's ownership freaks fear chaos, right? So you create, you clear lanes that way. You strategize, process, you negotiate. The prospect has the final approval, has the final financial decision. Give them control of that. Control isn't structured. You're not surrendered. Think about it. Common sense. And I see a lot of people with these, even brokers, like they don't like all they care about is making a movie. They sell the features, and even so, their voiceovers don't even match the video. Think about what I just said. I've seen so many videos they don't match, or they're just trying to like sell themselves to their audience in a live video and expect to sell to others when you should be dealing with the prospects, right? And how they control it, right? Like a video is like you controlling your video, you controlling your marketing doesn't help, right? Does the customer like that video? First off, before you post it out, are you there just to bring people in, make the customer happy, right? Define rules here. Ask them if it's okay. He explained consequences calmly. Like I said, if we split control in this scenario, like I said, if we split control, right, and this is the consequences, right? If we try to split control, right? Let me grab my pen, guys. Sorry about that. If we try to split control across every detail, we slow momentum. Definitely, 100%. He didn't argue. He explained his impact. He explained the consequences calmly, and the ownership-driven personalities respond to logic, right? So talk to that person, get this ready, even if it's in person, even if it's over a call, doesn't matter. Whatever makes it easier, make them understand. Give them a pamphlet to read off of. Give them something to look at. That way, they have all that information there in front of them too, right? And then that's where they can make and judge based on those questions that you have, right? Like I said, what makes an A grade versus a B grade for me? My B grade is professional. As my A B grade professional might say, is I usually handle marketing, but I'll keep you informed, right? That's okay. But an A grade for me would be like, you have to set your standards. You have to explain why. You have to protect authority. Even if you've got thousands and thousands of dollars, you're never going to make that sell right away. You're never going to hit your quotas. You're never going to hit what you want. You can have 5 or 7, 6 to 7 deals, but they all might die. They all might die. You might have 7 deals this week in the last, let's say, 3 weeks plus 4, 7 weeks, and you sold one in 7 weeks. Why didn't you sell the rest of the 6? Right? So usually handle marketing. I usually handle marketing, but I'll keep you informed. Okay, that's an A B grade for me. But an A grade again, I want to set the standards. I explain why as a professional. I want to protect my authority. I want to keep relationship relationships respectful. It's not about the person. It's not about his past. It's not about his looks. It's not about his video making. It's not about open houses. Like, you walk in the mall, all you care about is an open house to get people. Doesn't mean nothing. Did you sell it for the prospect, right? So keep the prospect aware, right? Brokers, if you got to get in there, get in there. Because sometimes I see you guys, you're in the back just waiting for something to happen. It's never gonna happen, right? If you let them take advantage of, or let them take your ownership of what they do, right? And you got to notice ownership, because sometimes ownership is comes with its pros and cons, right? So let's raise it to an A plus, and this is where I call it the advanced frame, right? Seller pushes again. I still want to prove everything. This is called the advanced frame for me. Help me understand. I'm a sales professional. Is the concern about visibility or about trust? Silence, frequency, right? I still want to prove everything. Prospect. Help me understand. Is this concern about visibility or trust? You've identified, visibility here. You increased the reporting on that. You've identified the root if trust. You've addressed its credibility. Help me understand. If control, you reframe the outcome focus. Because that might be a scenario about answering that question, right? So think about what I just said. You hired me for execution under pressure. And this is if control, then reframe the focus, right? So you hired me for execution under pressure. If I can execute decisively, we risk underperforming. You hired me for execution under pressure. If I can't execute or do things by myself decisively, we risk underperforming me, my team, and you, the client. And I don't take listings unless I can perform properly. It's a little bit of a control, but you have to think about, you have to have the seller needs to you have to have the seller on the same plane as you. You have to have that person help you understand what they're actually looking for. Because if you don't ask those questions and you're on by yourself and the customer has no idea then, right? That's power without even being aggressive. That's power without even being aggressive. That's what that is to me. Good. You leased the house. You sold the house. Good. You had 17 listings or 7 listings in the last 3 weeks. Good. But I can guarantee you that some of those houses didn't even go because you didn't push hard enough. Right. So again, grading, typically something I do in live scenarios with you guys. If you guys want to shoot down your scenarios in the comments, or email me in the comments, or message me in the comments, I'll help you 1-to-1, and I'll grade what you had, and if that didn't work for you, or what made it work, or what made it close. That way I can help you. I can help understand what happened there, right? So again, ownership freaks don't need domination, right? They need clarity. That's what they need, and we have to get to that point still. They need structure. You still need to get them to that point. They need protection. You still need to get them in that, and they need leadership because they're not ready yet, right? Eh, in order to be somebody, in order to get to where you want, you can lead, fine, but are you there yet? You don't need domination, right? When you provide that calmly, they relax. When you surrender, they tighten control. When you fight them, they escalate, and that's normal. And I've seen this in sales rookies, and with a prospect as well. You're just gonna lose. Professionals design the control. We design it. Let me see if I could do one with let's see, car salesman scenario, and see if I can provide you a good one, because I'll tell you something right now. This might not help you close, but this will give you the idea of what needs to be done. It's not the actual saying that's going to win the deal. It's you, how you put yourself in that position to actually say it the right way, right? And we're I'm gonna do some car sales scenarios for women and men and both. And there'll be an ownership freak buyer or a prospect that comes in into the dealership and have that ownership freak, someone who needs to control every detail. Yeah, there are those people, but it's how you dominate the process and how you test the salesperson, right? It's true what they say. The salesperson doesn't know, they just know how to sell, but it's not always about that, right? It's about the actual personality, right? Are you a rookie or are you a professional? So prospect walks in. This is into a dealership. I go into a dealership, or let's say, for example, I have one person that goes into the dealership, and we have our dealership, right? This is our dealership, whatever. It's a long building, right? Let's say that's our dealership, right? And we have a person, right, that walks into the dealership, right? Walks into the dealership, right? So here's the door, and this is dealership. Doesn't matter who it is, and this is person, right? So that prospect walks into the dealership confidently, analytically, and slightly confrontational towards someone inside the dealership. So it can be anybody that's in the dealership. And right away, that's the frame, that's the mind frame that you need to have is look at the person's social cues, the way he's dressed. But not worry about it, but just give that sort of insight, like, who he comes in with, how he walks into the door, how he's dressed, who he's with, right? So, you can walk in confidently, analytically, and you can sense that scenario. And I've seen that in a lot of people. And I can tell whether or not they're gonna be confrontational or they're just gonna be analytical, like a lot of questions and try to figure out, what's sold in this thing, and then have these answers ready for them, salesmen, in this scenario, because they're not all gonna be the same questions. So prospect, huge ownership freak, confident, cocky, analytical, wants to know all numbers, blah, 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 and confrontation, right? Not too confrontational, but slightly confrontational. So I've done my research already. Yeah, of course. The he's gonna do his research. That's fine. Right? So the salesman, right, inside the deal, he's gonna have questions, right? So he's got to prepare because he doesn't know that person, right? He doesn't know these two people don't know each other. They don't know each other. Remember that. These people do not know each other. There's no relation. And like I said, they don't know each other. They don't know what they do. They don't know what they say. And this person has the dollar sign, right? And or the number sign thought, right? I call it the number sign or dollar sign thought, right? And this number sign is all about how much, and this number sign is will and this will be we'll call this the hashtag um, you know confident analytical symbol for this person, right? So this person already done his research, and this is what he's going to say to the salesman in confrontation as they speak, or even by an approach, right? So I know invoice pricing, I know dealer holdback, I know financial tricks. I don't want to waste time. Just give me your best number and don't play games. Remember, dollar signs, right? Right? Dollar signs, right? He's got money, first thing. And I know dealer holdback. I know financing tricks. He's done his research, right? He's done his research. So let's call www as another topic of interest, right? So he's got dollar signs, he's got the number sign, he's got the www in his sign, right? So I don't want to waste time. Just give me your best numbers. Again, numbers, right? We could do numbers here. Numbers, right? N, right? Just give me your best number. Don't play games. So he's got the dollar sign. He's got the number signs. He's got the WWS sign, www signs. He's got the um, hashtag sign. And the salesman is trying to input that stuff. And the rookie is, again, this is a rookie, right? And there's lots of them out there, and they're still there. And that's the chance for them to shine, rookie, because they've gone through all that training already. So that training is fresh in their head. And there's a row of people, there's a row of people, right? Person one, person two, person three, person four, right? And person, and rookie, right? So you got four people, and this rookie here is the first person that sees that confident, cocky, slightly confrontational person, right? Inside the dealership. So this sales rookie says, absolutely, I appreciate that. Huh? Let me go talk to my manager and see what we can do. I've already done my research, prospect. I've already done my research. I know inventory pricing. I know dealer holdback. I know financing tricks. I don't want to waste time. Just give me your best number and don't play games. The rookie. Okay, let's go to the manager. We'll call this manager and we'll call this rookie. Okay. We'll add these two people here in this picture. And again, rookie and manager now are communicating with each other, right? And this is, in the lobby waiting for an answer. Don't run back and forth. Just be transparent. So the prospect is now telling the sales rookie, go and do this, do this, do this, do this. Just be transparent. Like he's telling the rookie what to do, and the rookie's nervous now because he's going to lose that deal. Yeah, totally. He's already nervous, the rookie. What monthly payment are you trying to stay under? What happens there? So you gave up your frame. You let the prospect dominate. The prospect now has the control. Remember, he's got the numbers, he's got the hashtag, he's got the www, and he's got the dollar signs. Yeah, totally. What monthly payment are you trying to stay under? That's a C grade. Like I honestly would, a rookie, like, you don't ask those types of questions. Like, what monthly payment are you trying to stay under? He just told you, I've done my research. I know invoice pricing. I know dealers holdback. I know financing tricks. I don't want to waste time. Just give me your best number. Don't play games. Trying to take on what the professional you would normally say is ask questions. But is this question going to help in this scenario? And I would grade this a C or a 3 out of 5. Why? I'll tell you why in a minute. So, you know, an A grade, between an A grade and a 3 out of 5 and a 5 out of 5, or 4.5 out of 5 is still okay. But I'm saying, like, a 3 out of 5, you know, is is okay. It's still 50%, but you've gave up. You've lost that. You've lost the deal. You've lost the deal. Don't just run back and forth. Just be transparent. Yeah, you're nervous already. I can sense that, or he can sense that. What monthly payment are you trying? Like, it's a good question as to why you're asking the rookie was great, because if we were to dissect it, and especially, absolutely, I appreciate that. something went wrong, right? And it's up to you or your manager or your team or leadership team to understand why what went wrong so that you can go and take back, go to the rookie and say, hey, absolutely, I appreciate that. Let me go talk to my manager. See, the one monthly payment are you trying to stay under? That right there, you're failed, right? Like that's a 3 out of 5 for me, right? And I'll tell you why that's failing for me because I know when the prospect remember says I know invoice pricing, I know the tricks. Just give me your best answer. That's a power move. You're going to respond with compliance in the snap of a finger instead of stabilizing the frame. The rookie reacted like you're trying to avoid conflict, and strong buyers smell that instantly. Let me talk to my manager, right? Let me see if I can copy this for you guys so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about in this scenario here because I don't want to confuse you guys with right. And this is I want you guys to see that because I've seen so many scenarios and like you're immediately getting defensive. You gave up the frame, you're prospecting, right? And the sales rookie again, the sales rookie, right? Prospect is usually a potential buyer, right? Absolutely, I appreciate that. Let me go talk to my manager. And that's a response from a rookie. Don't run back and forth. Just be transparent. Okay, prospect's gonna say whatever he wants. He's in control, right? And that to me is a C grade. Yeah, that's a C grade, right? For me, of course. Again, right? And then there's an A grade. But again, that's up to me. And I don't grade based on, you know, specific scenarios. I grade on years of experience, right? So, you know, when I'm saying something, I don't want to just lead with numbers. I lead with the alignments, right? So once I know that the vehicle is right and the structure fits the goal, then we can lock in numbers aggressively, right? That's the way I negotiate for you, not against myself. And that's normal, right? Because even so, when you say absolutely, I appreciate that, right? Let me go talk to my manager, see what we can do. And then he said something about the monthly payments. What are the monthly payments you're trying to stay under? Why would you say that, Ricky, right? And right there, that's a power move. I know invoice pricing. I know the tricks. And that was from the beginning of the conversation. I know the tricks. Just give me your best number. I'm trying to avoid conflict here, but yeah, strong buyers smell that instantly, believe it or not, right? And talking to your manager. Well, let me go talk to my manager, see what I can do. Right? Number three. One, two. I don't have power. I'm not the decision maker. I need permission. Let me go talk to my manager. I don't have the power. You've loss of authority. Now the prospect seems like as a messenger and not a negotiator. The ownership free personalities want control. If you show you don't have control, they'll take it, right? You could talk about the monthly payments, the shifting from to monthly payments. There's a wrong battlefield there. What monthly payment are you trying to stay under? Yeah, he moved the conversation from value to emotion, from strategy to a budget fear, a vehicle to payment anxiety. Think about it. A vehicle to payment anxiety. Ownership buyers or ownership driven buyers don't want to be qualified down. They want to feel sharp. They want to feel informed. They want to feel strategic. That question feels like a sales trick, believe it or not. Now trust drops, right? Again, there's many other things like you can negotiate against he had negotiated against himself. The frame was lost. There's many scenarios. I'm not gonna give you all the scenarios. You're gonna have to message me the word car sales principle, right? Right? In quote again, no quotations, okay? No quotations. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. Your movements again, just car sales principle, right? Doesn't matter. It's all this isn't about penmanship. This is about car sales principle. So, car sales principle, message me that um, with dashes. I want dashes, and I will send you over a PDF. Again, I can do luxury car versions where there's a psychology for 100,000 plus, but you're gonna have to. Um, that's something we're gonna have to talk about. If you're interested, let me know, and we can also talk about dealership managers where they negotiate layers added in. Which direction do you want to go? Again, message me the word or message me for more part two, and we can talk about where we can go there. Right? Again, you got to be in the Canada area or the United States in order in the Canada area for if you guys want to do one-to-ones with me. Right? So now I'm going to give you guys the sales professional, and this is going to be the last thing I'm going to be talking about here. And this is where I think it's an A grade. I personally think it's the A grade here. And the reason why I'm saying that is um, I know the game. Just give me your best number. There's a prospect, right? Prospect. I know the game. I know the game. I know the game right here. This guy right here. All games right here. Game. Game. All right. I know the game. Just give me your best price. He's done again. He's done his research. He's done his numbers. He has the money. He's got the information that he needs. He's got the pamphlet, right? He thinks he does. But again, this guy should have the information ready for him as well too, including the sales facts, even if it's a used car or not just a used car, but like car facts or history on the vehicle on a used dealership or even a new car dealership. But in a used car dealership scenario, you should have all that information, right? Transactions, right? Any transactional information would help. And the professional here, again, in this scenario, after the prospect saying, just give me your best number, good. I prefer working with informed buyers. Tell them, good, right? Good. I prefer working with informed buyers. But let's clarify something. Are you trying to win the negotiation or are you trying to secure the right vehicle under the right structure? You're asking them a question. I prefer working with informed buyers. I know the game. Just give me your best number. Are you trying to win the negotiation or are you trying to secure the right vehicle under the right structure, right? In the right tone. You're shifting binary, right? You're now the buyer or now the buyer has to choose the mindset, right? So you got to choose the questions, right? You have to choose that mindset. I just want the best deal. Bang, you just got that answer. He wants the deal, right? So it came with he said he wants the best numbers, but he wants the best deal. I want the best deal. So there's another question. So just give me your best number. But let's clarify something. You're trying to win the negotiation, right? You're not really fighting with them in this instant, but are you trying to secure the right vehicle under the right structure? You're giving them options, right? Are you trying to win the negotiation? One, or are you trying to secure the right vehicle under the right structure? Are you trying to secure the right vehicle? Two, under the right structure. Three, right? So now the buyer has to choose some sort of mindset here, like, okay, which one do I choose here? And he wants the best deal. So he's going back to his number game, right? So perfect. The best deal isn't just price, it's timing, it's trade position, right? So get more questions out of him. And I'll tell you why, because in the end, you have to find out whether or not if it's timing, if it's a trade position issue, if it's a financing structure, or in leverage, right? Get all the answers you need. Because if we structure this properly, you will win long term, right? Not just on paper today. Think about that for a second, right? And then pause and then say fair. Now that tone should shift a little bit, right? Think about it. Remember something. There are escalation moments as well too, and you will escalate. I still want your best number up front. And again, it's all about numbers here. You got to play that number game here. I don't lead with numbers, I lead with alignment. Perfect. I don't lead with numbers. I lead with alignment. Once I know the right vehicle and the structure fits your goals, prospect, then we'll lock in numbers aggressively. You don't want to just sell them a car based on looks and price to get rid of just to get your commissions high or your numbers high. There's like you got to feel what the prospect is looking for. You got to understand why he's buying. Is it safe? Are there any technical issues or any issues in that Equifax that are important for that prospect to know that person's name as well too, or even say, hey, get to learn that person's name is the first thing you would want to do. Like, hey, Bob, or hey, Jimmy, or hey, who, Abe. I still want your best number up front, right? To the professional. Abe, I don't lead with numbers. I lead with alignment. Once I know this is the right vehicle and the structure fits your goal, then we lock in numbers aggressively, right? That way I negotiate for you and not against myself. You've maintained authority here. You've shifted from being defensive to strategic. You've protected the margin. You've elevated the conversation, right? The ownership freak wants control, wants dominance, right? That's the prospect. The sales rookie. They want leverage. They fear being manipulated. If you surrender, they'll push harder. If you fight, they'll escalate. If you structure, they'll settle. They'll settle. And this is perfect for you guys to understand, right? If you surrender, right, they push harder. If you fight, they escalate. If you structure, they settle. Straight out, right? See if I can make this a little bit smaller here. Okay. So if you surrender, they push harder. If you fight, they escalate. If you structure, they settle. What just happened? After a test drive, professional, you've done your research, you know the value. Even after a test drive, you get them to the test drive. Let's say, for example, you've done your research, you know the value. If we structure this cleanly and protect your position, are you prepared to move forward today? If the numbers make sense, they will. Let's finalize the structure and secure it. Close. You're done. And that's an A grade. Why? You didn't surrender, did not argue, didn't get emotional, structured the control, elevated the conversation, closed with leadership, right? Ownership freak buyers don't need domination. They need confidence. They need competence. They need stability that's emotional. They need structure. When you show you can handle pressure without flinching, they relax and they buy. Remember, guys, I could talk about where the buyer gets aggressive. I could talk about luxury car services, the psychology around any car that's worth two, three, $400,000. What direction do you want? Okay, and again, I'm gonna close with a call to action here. If this resonates with you in your business, if you've dealt with that prospect who needs to run the whole meeting, hit the like button because that's going to happen. Comment why this video helped you. And if you want deeper breakdowns like this, private access only, message me or email and I'll send you the link directly to this video. Because sales isn't about overpowering people, it's about leading them. I'm Sal Cosentino. Let's network right.